Hello, welcome to Natemare Flix. I'm Nate. Back in January, I deemed The Lodge one of my most anticipated horror movies of the year, so I was pretty dismayed when it didn't come to my town. But I just found out there was a showing down in Richmond, and I don't got anything to do today, so road trip! Alright guys, made a little pit stop. Got that Wendy's, because you need to fuel up before you do a review, of course. And let's be honest, costs about the same as just one little tub of popcorn, so this is a more dynamic culinary experience, although I promise not a sponsor, although Wendy's, that would be dope. Help a small YouTuber out. But just kidding guys, so I was looking at the theater. I got a nice little hour or so trip here, but theater looks really nice, a lot of great reviews. Looks like it's gonna be much different than the theaters we have here in town, so I'm excited. Can't wait to check in with you guys once I have this review. Wow. Okay guys, so I just finished watching The Lodge, and I don't feel like the same person as the guy that went in there to watch that movie. This movie is dark, it is disturbing. It's everything people were reporting after they watched Hereditary for the first time. If you remember all the hype surrounding Hereditary, I myself love Hereditary. I saw that in theaters too, and it left its mark, but not quite the way this did. This is a really well-made movie, superbly crafted, amazing script. The cinematography is very reminiscent of Hereditary. There's some story elements that are very Hereditary-esque. Just the feeling of nihilism and hopelessness and sorrow. It's very common in both movies. But even down to, like I said, like certain plot points, like one of the characters using miniatures. It really ties these two movies together. This has a very Ari Aster-like feel to it. Whew, yeah, like I said, it's a ride. It's very well made, but it's gonna hit you in the gut, and this movie doesn't care about how you feel. This movie does not want to spare you at all, doesn't give a damn about you, and I mean that in the best way. It's weird to me that this movie and The Boy 2, which I also watched this week, share a genre because they could not be any more different. This movie's not out to give you cutesy jump scares or the kind of like weird hard feelings that just startle you and you ultimately like, oh, okay, that was fun. This is like a roller coaster, I got that feeling in my stomach, but I'm gonna be okay. There's no real danger. We're on track. This movie doesn't give you that. It is out to make you just absolutely disturbed and to fear for what's about to come next because they're gonna show you it and they're not gonna take any mercy on you. This is horror. You will be horrified, you will be terrified at parts. The two women that walked out of the auditorium in front of me, one was like, don't let me pick the movie anymore. I can't do another one of those. That was so much. What did we just see? That was almost verbatim what she said to her friend, and the friend was in agreement, so that just tells you what this movie was like. And again, I want to repeat, I mean all of this in the most complimentary fashion, because that's what the filmmakers wanted to do, and they succeeded. So the story here, we get a family that goes out to a lodge for a Christmas vacation, which I guess is even more menacing given that it's supposed to be, the jolliest time of year. But yes, there's some family drama going on here. The father, he has a mistress that he's decided to go with, which causes a lot of tension inside the family. The mother is played by Alicia Silverstone, which that was cool. I was clueless to her being in this movie, so it was nice to see her pop up. That was a good surprise, and she really gives us the inciting incident for this movie's plot, an incident that I don't want to spoil anything, but what she does, it gets everything set in motion and it sets the tone for this movie. I feel like I was still just getting settled in. I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing here. We got some family drama, all right, this is gonna add a little extra layer to this. I was getting settled in, I got my drink, and then I was like, holy, oh my God. Oh, that's what this movie's gonna be like, huh? We're not safe. So that right off the bat, they show you what you're in for. But yes, I mentioned Alicia Silverstone. All the other performances, Riley Keough, what's his name? Jade Martell, forgive me. Jade Martell of It fame. He's definitely got the best horror movie of the It alums. Sophia Lillis, Gretel Hansel wasn't too good. Finn Wolfhard in The Turning is just bad. This movie is great. This is a very well-made movie. This is a horrifying movie. So, he's doing good things. Martell, he had this movie, The Lodge, and then in the fall, he had Knives Out, which was obviously stupendous. So he's killing it. All the performances are amazing in this movie. Everybody does their part, which plays into how unnerved and affected you will be. the atmosphere, like I mentioned, you don't feel safe, and there are all sorts of other factors working on you. So even when things aren't happening, you just don't feel settled. You can't get relaxed in your little theater seat because the way the cinematography is done, I mentioned it's very Hereditary-esque. If you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. But the cinematography, there's the lighting, everything is very dark, but also just the set pieces, lots of narrow corridors, small rooms where like the bed or the couch take up most of the space, or the people are right on top of each other, so you start to feel trapped, you start to feel claustrophobic. And outside you just have this vast white landscape with snow continuing to fall and pile up to where it's like seemingly 10 feet high at points. You know, the next town is miles away, so you get that Thing or The Shining kind of feeling. So, you know, we're really working with isolation, paranoia. There's all sorts of religious themes in this movie. I touched on this movie being very nihilistic. It doesn't have a lot of kind words to say for religion either. But that's not a negative for me. As long as you develop your themes well, and you make your message and you craft it well and you deliver it properly, I'm here for whatever you have to say. This movie definitely does all of those things. Oh, sorry, but I got a little sidetracked. So the plot, basically the dad, you know, he puts his kids in this bad position of having to go on this Christmas vacation with his new girlfriend, mistress, whichever you'd like to call her. And he ends up having to leave for work, so they get stuck there with her, and she has a past. Through some digging, they figured out that she used to be a part of a notorious cult, a very Heaven's Gate-like cult. We see video from her past of what was going on in that cult. She's the sole survivor, which is effective because right away, it's that thing of when you meet someone and you feel like they only know the absolute worst thing about you or something you wouldn't want people to know, and you're just trying to overcome that initial judgment and that bad reputation. This character has to do that. She's set up as the heel right away. So even when she's doing small things, she's just playing with like her dog, you're there like, stop trying to be human. You're not a human. You're a culty monster, and we know it. We're on to you, witch. That kind of thing, which is effective. It sets up all the tension and those human dynamics, all this conflict. There's all sorts of conflict too. I mean, we got man versus nature, we have man versus man. At times you feel like, is this man versus paranormal, the supernatural? And all of it is done well. But like I said, this movie is not going to be for everybody. This is a dreary, dark movie that is going to leave you feeling differently than you did when you walked in to watch it. Very dark, very oppressive, and I mean that in a good way. Like I said, it's very well made, but oof, it is arresting. And like I said, it has no concern for your feelings, for your safety. As horror fans, I feel like a lot of times some movie initially really scares us. It's what makes us become horror fans, because then we then spend the rest of our lives trying to find other movies that are going to replicate that initial fear, that initial ride. For me, it was The Exorcist at 8 years old. I've never seen another film that has done that to me, that has made me feel those emotions, feel that amount of adrenaline, that amount of rush. And with The Lodge, I didn't feel that level, but I came close at times to where you see certain, you know, the camera going down the corridor, or you see outside of a door, or you think that a certain action might be about to happen, and your inner monologue is just like, no, please, I don't want to see that. Please take pity on me this once. I can't handle it. But like I said, this movie doesn't care what you can handle. So there you go. That is The Lodge summed up for you. If that sounds like something you can handle, that sounds like something you're into, you don't mind a movie that doesn't care about you, that just wants to deliver an effective film that, you know, disturbs and has something to say, then give it a shot. If you feel like everything I've said may be a little bit triggering, or it may hurt you to where when you walk away you don't want to deal with all those hard feelings, there's no shame in that. Maybe sit this one out, because it is a very heavy, disturbing, tense, scary movie. So for that though, because that's what this movie is trying to do, I'm going to rate it a 4.6 out of 5, or a 92%. Definitely the best horror movie of 2020 so far, because a lot of them have been bad, and this one lived up to the hype. This one was really praised at Sundance and all these other different award givers, all these other festivals, I should say. and it lived up to the hype. I was kind of dubious on if it would. You know, it seemed insurmountable. There was no way it could live up to all this acclaim, and it did. Like I said, from the get-go, I was sitting down, I was getting settled, you know, I had my drink, and I was feeling good. I was like, let's see what this movie's gonna do. And like I said, oh my God! And yeah, it kept that momentum, it kept that energy, it kept that tone, and yeah, my day feels different. At one point I was sitting there like, in the theater next to me, there's happy families joyously watching Jim Carrey ham it up in Sonic the Hedgehog, and this is what I'm doing to myself? What does this say about me? But yeah, guys, that's it. That's my take on The Lodge. Really good movie, really scary movie, really dark movie. So if you enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Nate for Natemare Flix saying that's a wrap.